Hi there, welcome. Welcome to Homekeepers. Hey, come right on in, my friend. It's so good to be here. Glad you're there. And I always like to welcome everybody, those new viewers. Hope this won't be your last time. And also the regular ones that we hear from time to time. You mean the world to us. I really do mean that. So welcome, everybody. It's going to be an interesting program today. If you've watched us a lot through the years, you'll know that we offered a product called Cellquest, and this is the way I found out about it. It's been almost pretty close to 10 years ago. My daughter was diagnosed with breast cancer, and after I got out of my fetal position, I started trying to find out what I could about cancer and how you can deal with it, and I finally found a product that was in Russia, and it was like $1,000 or something, and that wasn't possible. So I ran into Deborah Ray, and the regular viewers know her. I said, have you ever heard of this product from Russia? She says, oh yeah, but she said, I know something just as good. And she said, it's Cellquest, and that's how I became acquainted with it. And Dr. Norton, who is the head of this company, one of the finest gentlemen, so totally honest. And through the years, through these many years, we've brought people on from time to time who've been helped by this product. They are cancer survivors, and so I have one today, brand new friend. Her name is Lesley Peters, and she made the choice. We don't recommend anything to anybody really, but she made the choice when she was diagnosed to go totally in a holistic manner, and you're going to be fascinated by her story. And she does use the Cellquest, and I'm going to join Stephanie. We're going to make a tortellini and chicken Caesar salad, and boy, it's got some wonderful ingredients in it. Perfect for summer days, and I'm anxious to taste it. I think it's a recipe you will like. But before I join her, we offer on this program, we offer Cellquest. We offer you 3 bottles, 16 ounces each, for $39.95, and that includes the shipping and handling. And if you don't think that's a bargain, friends, you've never shipped and handled anything. I tell you, the shipping these days is just enormous. And so this could get you started. And if you use a credit card, that number's on your screen, 1-800-229-0059, or write to us at Homekeepers, Box 6922, Clearwater, Florida, 33758. We will contact the good people at Cellquest, and they will get it out to you. So you want to take that information after you hear Lesley. You might want to order some for yourself. But right now, I've joined Sister Stephanie over here to make a wonderful, wonderful salad.
This is going to be so delicious.
You?
I'm getting ready to go to Tennessee. This time I'm not driving. This will be very unusual. I'm flying because my parents are celebrating 50 years. That deserves an applause.
Yeah.
50 years. That's something to say
And her
these
mother
days.
is the president of her fan club.
Yes, yes.
And well, congratulations to you.
George and Sherry.
George and Sherry.
Yes.
Well, yeah, they came to see me one day in my house.
Yeah, they did.
And this girl, she's the best daughter, sister, aunt, whatever.
Oh.
She really is, and she doesn't like me to say it, but she's an absolute blessing to her family. So what are you going to do? You're going to go get a cake? And
we're going to have a cookout. You know, we're just simple. We're just simple people. So we're just going to have a cookout. We have some family coming from out of town, and we'll have a cookout and have cupcakes, and my parents will be in bed at 6, so that's what we do.
Not 6?
Yes. Yes, they go to bed at 6.
I've never ever heard of anybody going to bed at 6 o'clock.
Yes, they do. And then they get up really, really early. But let me just tell you, when I'm there, it would be very easy for me to fall into it because it gets dark really early.
This is mid.
And for some reason, by 6 or 7 o'clock at night, I'm like, it feels like it's 10 o'clock at night. Yes. You know, my mother was a nurse. And she worked the night shift.
Yeah.
So she just never got out of that, and it just has stuck. And they like getting up super duper early. My dad likes to drink coffee and watch the sunrise out back, and that's how they live.
What shall I do?
Okay, so, well, you're just going to stand there and look pretty, I think, today. Okay, so we have romaine lettuce. We have bacon, tomatoes, olives, Parmesan cheese. We have chicken that I cut up and with garlic and onion. We just cooked it up. And then we have cheese tortellini that we cooked. And this is
Put it all together.
The most super simple meal.
Shall I start throwing this stuff together?
Do you want to throw?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
There
bacon.
we go. That's bacon, grape tomatoes.
Gosh, I don't even know if that bowl's going to be big
That bowl
enough,
might not
really.
be big.
Let's see. You keep pouring. Let's see what we got.
All right.
I got nothing.
I won't put all the olives
Okay,
in.
yeah,
We'll make
oh.
it work. Isn't it gorgeous though already?
Yes. Okay, so let's put some chicken. I won't put all the chicken in.
Yeah.
Let's do the cheese last, okay?
And this, okay.
We'll do this. And then we're going to put some, this. I'm going to make this for home for sure because this looks so delicious and filling. And it's
just
a meal.
The dressing is just a regular Caesar.
Yep, so just pour some of that on and we'll mix it up. Yep. So my brother's coming, my sister's coming, we have cousins coming. I'm jumping subjects because I was just thinking back to the party. And put some Parmesan cheese on it. Yep, so,
Sorry about that.
Wow.
Sorry about that.
So I'll have pictures on my Facebook and then I'll have pictures for one of the shows.
Yeah,
next.
and a lot of you are friends with her on Facebook. So
I try to put up all the recipes. I try to put up
you will
money-saving
keep
tips.
us informed.
Oh, you know I will.
Oh boy.
Oh
That
boy.
is a winner.
Let's see. I want a cheese tortellini.
That is a winner. That's a meal.
That's the easiest meal you're gonna make, probably.
It's absolutely delicious. And if you
So
want the
good.
recipe, it's free. You
It
can
is.
write to me, or if you email us, and we'll send it right back to you. And be glad to do it. Out of 10, I give this a 12.
I'm gonna have to give it a 12. I don't usually go above 10, but I'll give this one a 12.
All right. If you want this, we'll be glad to get it right out to you. But stay. I want you to hear the wonderful story of Lesley Peters. We're glad to have her today.
If you would like a copy of today's recipe, just write to the address on your screen, or you can email your request to arthelene@rippy.org.
Well, welcome to Homekeepers, Lesley.
Thank
We're so
you.
glad to have you.
It's a pleasure being here.
And quite a story you have that is not that uncommon, sadly. As I mentioned, my daughter was diagnosed, and she's doing great. Very thankful for that. How long ago were you diagnosed with breast cancer?
2 years ago, April 26th.
And can you describe your reaction and what it was like to hear that?
It was first because I found the tumor.
You found it yourself?
I found it myself, and I was like, okay, what is this? And I immediately went to get a mammogram. So when they told me I had cancer, I was not too surprised, but I knew I had to take care of this right away, and I just chose holistically.
What did the doctors prescribe for you to do?
They wanted me to have surgery, and then they talked about, the radiation, chemo, and I refused it.
Yeah, what was it in your whole idea to refuse it? Because from talking to you and hearing your story, it's like, this is what I'm going to do. You didn't really vacillate at all.
No, I didn't. A friend of mine showed me a CD on chemoradiation, and when I saw how it damages your body even more and causes you to get sick, I didn't want to put more toxins in my body. I knew I had to heal myself naturally. So I wanted to live longer than have chemoradiation kill me sooner. So
had you been real interested in a holistic way of living anyway?
Not really.
Really?
I started eating healthier before I was diagnosed, just to, I was getting
You were
a little
expecting the
weight.
diagnosis?
Yes, I was, because I knew that lump wasn't feeling right.
How did you hear about Cellquest?
A friend of mine who works with Cellquest told me about trying it out, because I was trying everything else, and so far I'm doing fine, but I wanted something to get rid of this cancer faster. And it's been about 8 months, and I can feel the tumors going down.
Now, are you vegetarian?
Yes, I'm a raw.
And you eat raw?
Just all raw.
Yeah. Did you do that before?
No, I didn't. Before I had fish and a little bit of chicken, but when I was diagnosed and decided to go holistic, I completely, crashed my body into eating healthy.
Was that quite an adjustment? Because the way Americans eat, we all have certain cravings, and when you cut that off just like that, right?
Yeah.
Was it pretty tough?
No, it wasn't, because it was a mindset. And the quote I've been going through, don't let your mind master you, you master it. So this was my decision, and I was going to do it, and I feel great about it.
Now, you were diagnosed 2 years ago?
Yep.
And today, you are cancer-free, correct?
Cancer-free on the left side, and there's no cancer cells in my body except that tumor.
Didn't you have a checkup recently?
I did. I did in October last year, and the PET scan showed everything was fine. My blood tests were perfect. Oxygen level perfect, so just this little tumor.
Yeah, because there's so many ways to look at cancer and respond to it. Deborah Ray, who I mentioned earlier, she's a real health expert. Her husband had a type of cancer that she worked with an oncologist, and a lot of times that's helpful to bring the two together.
Right.
But you just chose. Okay, what stage was the cancer?
Stage 2 on the left breast and stage 3 on the right. Yeah.
And the product we're talking about, we do offer it on the program, and that's 3 bottles for $39.95, and that includes your shipping and handling, and the information's coming up on your screen. That includes everything, and we send, when you order it, we send the information to Cellquest, and they will send it out to you. If you just tuned in, I want you to know that we do offer that. Can you tell a difference in your overall energy and health since you went on this path?
Before I was diagnosed, I had low energy. I was, didn't have that spunk, and I couldn't concentrate, and just feeling lazy, run down. And now that I'm in this holistic approach, and even with Cellquest, I have more energy. I feel like a 20-year-old again. Right.
How much do you take every day?
I take about 1.5 bottles a day. So.
I think most of the people we've talked to take about 1 bottle every day in the beginning.
Right.
In the beginning. Up to the point of your diagnosis, did you have what you thought was pretty good health?
I thought so. I sure did.
But it's superior now.
Yes, it is. I feel my immune system is perfect, because cancer can't feed off good immune system. So,
are you kind of I was going to say accosted by your friends? Have your friends thought, well, you really should have taken the other route?
Right. Some of my friends stopped talking to me because they...
You're kidding?
Yes. They disagreed with my approach, and they just completely stopped calling and checking up on me. Even my sister, she just, I think you should have an operation. I said no, and I'm firm with my decision, and I just lost that relationship. But.
So what? How do you take the Cellquest? You take it all at once, or do you take it through the day?
I take it through the day, yeah. In the morning, afternoon, evening.
And there is 1 tumor left,
right.
But you plan to leave it alone, right?
I will.
What does the doctor say about that?
He suggests for me to remove it, but I said, what I'm doing is working, so why change it?
Okay, but when you were first diagnosed, did they recommend both chemo and radiation?
We'll start off with the surgery and
Surgery and then radiation. Mm-hmm. And you said no immediately.
Right.
This is where it gets a little interesting. This is a personal thing. You're not recommending that for everybody, because a lot of people use that. They'll use some holistic approaches as well.
Right. It's up to the person how they feel about conventional and holistic.
Now, do you plan to stay on this course the rest of your life?
I probably will.
The holistic approach. Mm-hmm. Is it true that not only the energy, but that you think more clearly?
I do. Yes, I can focus more now that I'm getting older. My mind is sharper.
So from the time you were designated, from the time that this was discovered, you began a whole new way of life, just like that.
Just like that.
And how long after you got into that did you notice, hey, I'm feeling better, I got more energy?
Probably around 6 months, because I had a detox and, go through the little headaches from not having sugar. So it took about 6 months before I was like, wow, I'm feeling better.
What's interesting about this, though, is up to that point of the diagnosis, had you given much thought to what I'm eating? And it appears your story is, okay, I'm diagnosed with cancer, this is what I'm going to do. You were not into all this health stuff before, right?
Nope, I wasn't, no.
That's what's so interesting. So did you have to do a quick study and find out?
It's amazing how just positive people came in my life during this time, and holistic friends and people who own raw vegan restaurants. They started encouraging me. So it was like the Holy Spirit brought these people in my life to guide me through. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so when you were diagnosed, there was no fear?
No, it wasn't, no.
This is
No.
almost unbelievable, because so often when there is a diagnosis like this, there is just a Niagara of fear and what will I do? And I think your story is one that people need to hear, that there are other ways.
Right, yes.
And you said a friend told you about Cellquest?
Yes, yes.
See, we've had several people sitting in that chair that have had it, and their testimonies, they mean a lot. Did anybody come to you with a testimony of how Cellquest had helped them?
Not personally, no. I wanted to try it on my own because I was told that it works, so I had faith.
So it wasn't a cancer survivor?
No.
Because Cellquest is good for you for many reasons. However, the guests we've had on had a story of cancer.
Okay.
We had one on with fibromyalgia, that she really believed that it helped her. And some people that we've had here absolutely believe it saved their life. So it's something to consider when you get these diagnoses that are so very discouraging. What would you say to people who are watching right now who have had a cancer diagnosis and they're in that fear, they're in that first reaction?
What I was thinking at that time was that we all have a purpose in life. And, life is birth, then you live your purpose and you get ill and you go to the next level. So my purpose is to, when I was diagnosed, I saw cancer. Okay, I have cancer. What am I going to do about it? I'm going to teach other women that cancer is not a fearful thing. You don't have to die from it. And you have to believe in yourself and believe in...
Well, also you have to, I think you do what you can, and God does what only He can do.
Right.
But he's waiting for us also,
Right.
you know, to make some decisions, and he is absolutely the ultimate healer. And your story is very, very inspiring on two levels, I think, for people to just think totally about their reaction to this kind of thing, and the Cellquest and the other things that we can learn. There's an awful lot of good information.
Right, there is.
Out there. Have you talked to other people who've been diagnosed? Have any of them sought out any of your, the things that you've learned along the way?
Yes, they always ask me, what are you doing? You know, what are you doing with, you know, how are you doing? What are you eating? And
are these people who've been diagnosed?
Yeah. And they feel encouraged by my story also.
Yeah, because your story's a little different than anything that we've had, but also there are a lot of people who do both. And I think anytime you're going through the chemo or the radiation, that you want to do everything to keep your immune system up. But you know, with the fear out there and everything that can happen, I think you're a very, very brave lady.
Thank you.
Very brave, and I'm glad that your last test was so good. There's no cancer cells right now.
No, nothing.
None whatsoever. Well, that's pretty amazing. And let me remind you again that for many years we have offered this product, and offering it to you again because I wanted you to hear Lesley's testimony, because this is one thing that you can consider. And I think everybody needs to know that cancer is not always a death sentence.
No.
That that's where you rise up and figure out what the Lord wants you to do about it, and there is an answer. Thank you for your story so much.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to mention to you that we bring these stories on from every once in a while. It's a product that we have offered for many, many years, and we've had some very, very good testimonies from it. I'd like to pass it on to you. There are testimonies out there that I know about, but people don't want to come on TV. They just would rather not do that. And so those that are willing to come on, we will bring them to you. I have a message I want to give you coming up here at the end of the program. It's something that's very, very, very important to me. I hope you'll listen very carefully, because the Lord's been dealing with me a lot about the idea that families get fragmented, they go everywhere, every direction, but we need the gatekeepers at home. So stay with me. I have a couple things to say before we have to say goodbye.
Arthelene would like you to keep the following information handy. You may contact Homekeepers by writing to Homekeepers, P.O. Box 6922, Clearwater, Florida 33758, or go to www.rippy.org. Remember, we always enjoy hearing from our viewers, and we thank you for your support.
I want to again remind you we are offering Cellquest on this program. We've offered it for many years, and you can get 3 16-ounce bottles for $39.95. That includes the shipping and handling. The number is on your screen if you use a credit card, and also the address is on the screen if you want to write to us. We will be glad to have the good people at Cellquest get it out to you, so I hope you'll take advantage of that. The following was written by my nephew, David Crabtree, who is a pastor of Calvary Church in Greensboro, North Carolina. I used this several years ago, but I wanted to bring it out again because in my last newsletter, I talked a lot about gatekeeping. And I feel that there are really no gatekeepers at our homes today. Throughout the Bible, a lot of gates are mentioned, and they usually had a gatekeeper there. So I hope this little story that he wrote will absolutely resonate in your mind and your thoughts and your own family. It's about a young girl named Abby. Abby's grandmother grew up over a period of 20 years in a neighborhood with wide sidewalks and picket fences. Couples stayed together then, and divorce was a tragedy. The community was considered safe, and the kids had the run of the neighborhood. The schools were heavily influenced by the PTA, and censorship was considered a moral responsibility. Television had a couple of channels and programming was family-oriented. Movies were rated in such a way that decency could be ensured. People knew what decency was back then. It wasn't a perfect world. There was plenty of evil, but there were guardians at the gates. A parent at home when the kids got off the bus. A neighbor to watch when an unfamiliar face showed up at the playground. A mom to comfort and a dad to lead. In most quarters, those days are gone. Abby's neighborhood has no sidewalks and only fences, and they're for privacy. The houses are very close, but the neighbors stay far apart. At 12, Abby knows more about sex than her grandmother did on her wedding day. Most of her information came from a morally neutral sex ed curriculum backed up by sleazy television. She's not sure whether she's gay or straight, but her teachers have encouraged her to find her own unique expression. Right and wrong are not relative terms because Abby lives in a relativistic world. If it really hurts, Abby runs to an emerging world of virtual reality. Her parents are still together, but she spends her after-school hours alone at home. She's rarely alone, though, because her computer and her phone have unlimited internet access where she finds all kinds of information. Abby watches an evening television lineup packed with sexual innuendo and barnyard morals. Most evenings she watches alone until 8:30. She thinks she's mature enough to start dating, and Mom and Dad can't see the freight train coming. There are no guardians at the gates. This new age is not an age of innocence. New barbarians have risen from the ashes as far back as the 60s, and they're increasingly sophisticated and evil. It is so important to know what's going on in your children's lives. God gave them to you to raise, a sacred and a precious trust. Who's guarding your gates? There are many reasons that this program is called Homekeepers. You've just heard one of them. Think about it. And remember, friend, there's no higher calling than that of a homekeeper. God bless you.
If you should miss a Homekeepers program, you can catch up by going to www.ctnonline.com. Click on CTN Programs and then on Homekeepers.